So I've already played a bit of this game. I tried out the tutorial. I tried out, and then went to Skirmish and found out that was a huge error. I should have did the campaign first because you teach more stuff in the campaign and you don't teach anything in the Skirmish area. Gonna try breaking this down into a couple videos just to give some quick feedback in each area. So first thing, it runs really great. I'm on index and it's got 144 frames, solid, almost the entire time.
All enforcement contracts must be approved by Imperial Administration.
One of the overall themes that I've found throughout this entire game is the overall audio is crazy loud. And obviously I can turn that down on my system, but it just, it seems like there's too many loud sounds and voices in my ears when I'm just trying to do things. I'll see if I can't change that in the settings, and then maybe that'll help you find a new default for people, and if they want it louder, they can make it louder. But so the first thing is, when I first set up the lighthouses, I set up my room, drew a border, yada, all that stuff. People may jump into their game not remembering the exact setup, because Steam asks you what's your forward facing, regardless. So people might just jump in not remembering that, and I don't know if you always want the menu to be where Steam says forward facing is. I don't know if, is it that big of a deal if I come in facing that way? Why can't it just flip to where this is now the front, this whole space, unless you're doing something where you, I noticed that you have kind of valued the overall space. There's my Guardians. So like maybe it's just a minor thing. Some games do it where it just values where you come in facing. So if I came in facing that way, why can't this be the front going forward, and then this is the right, left, and back? Or if I come in, this is the front. Like, you're still valuing the overall space, but does it really matter if, like, does it always need to be this is forward? It's just, it's a minor convenience for some people. Some people might come in your game and be like, where am I at? What am I supposed to do? Eventually they will figure it out, but why not just have this be forward facing if they come in and that's their forward? Is there audio? There's not audio. Okay.
Battle group rally point.
So I guess I will just manually
1,000 meters from
lower this. That's kind of a bummer. The next thing up, another minor thing, is you have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 total difficulties, which is great. But like, I don't have a military background, so I don't even know if these are actually accurate. Commander, captain. I know obviously this is a joke, or you're being silly about this difficulty. But why not have it where when you press this, it just pops out like a little window right here to let everyone see all 5 difficulties, so that if I'm like, I just want the middle one. I just want to start off with the middle difficulty because I feel like that might be middle of the road. If I don't remember that Cadet was the first one or Akbar was the last, I might be sitting here going, which one is which? I know you said it as Cadet initially, or if I didn't know it was 5 and I was just going really fast, I'm like, wait, is it 5? Okay, well then 3 is in the middle one, so I'm like 1, 2, 3. Like, why do that? Why not just have a little window that pops up to let everyone know? Or it could pop up this way, depending on where you want to put your spaces at. I played on Cadet and I was getting crushed, so I'm not in the business of trying to be all fancy right now. So I guess this first video will be all those intro stuff, and then I'll go through tutorial feedback, which again, at the end of the day, you want to focus more of your attention on the campaign and the skirmish, because that's where most people will be spending most of their time. I was pleasantly surprised like how well of a job you did with your tutorial, because most tutorials, I don't know anyone who enjoys working on a tutorial, making a tutorial. I don't like making a tutorial at my work, especially playing them. And the longer ones, you're like, oh my god, does the tutorial ever end? So I was really surprised how we did. The audio was hurting me. I'll try to point that out as I go through. But let's just go through some stuff.
Stay clear of live munitions in the loading deck.
You are doing like the Windows Navigator speech recognition voice. Hopefully you can eventually get, not necessarily a professional, but like a human being, because I don't know, me personally, it just sounds annoying. But that's probably a low priority. Oh, on index, now it's kind of dark. When I grip, but my fingers are still pointing up. So on Oculus, I know it knows the difference between gripping with fingers pointing up and gripping with fingers like this. So if you can find, maybe you're just accounting for the Vive ones and there's just either full grip or not. But anyways, it's weird how, can I get I thought there was a pointer. Is it this? Oh, it's this. When I click in the trigger on index, this is pointer. This feels weird. It doesn't feel right. Especially because when I first started, so I was like, okay, like, I can't touch. A lot of games will do that, and maybe you don't want to do that because of sensitivity issues where people accidentally hit things you don't want them to. Fine, but if I make the pointing gesture in most games, like, why can't that be a starting? Like, but you have it where I have my full hand out, and then I press the trigger.
Looks like we have another ape for the meat grinder. This is basic training.
It's even weirder because you have this guy talking,
intelligence director,
and you're trying to make him a little
a poor choice of acronym in my synthetic
kind of
opinion.
silly, and have like some
Let's
jokes
get you
and
caught
humor.
Up to speed so you don't die right
but just
out
coming
of
from
warm.
this guy,
Look at the palm of your left hand. This is the mission display hand menu. It will show mission objectives. You can use it to follow along with my instructions. Let's start with the strategic holo display. This interactive map displays the real-time state of the battlefield. Slightly important if you are a commander. To move the map, use the grip with one hand.
So this is my dead center, and it is kind of weird how you start this off.
Monkey see,
where
monkey can do.
There you go. Another
to
joke.
scale and rotate
you have
the
this
map,
thing like right in my
with
face.
Both hands to manipulate.
I don't know why the center can't be a little bit further forward so people can be like starting here. Why can't the center of this pop-up be like right here? This is the center of my play space. And then where I was pressing the buttons felt natural. I have to kind of stick out my arm a little bit and press a button, and then you spawn me at the dead center. So just be cautious of this, that I have to back up to just see this. But when you first kind of notice, you look down, you're like, oh god, what is that in my face? So you are using the HTC Vive 1s. On index, it's the A buttons. This is great. I love this. Like, yeah, why can't it even be just like this? Why can't it like start like that, and then you can like, oh, okay, expand in, right? But like just having things start like
controlling
right up in
the
your
map
face
will
is
be
weird.
vital to your command abilities.
I would start this as like the default.
Increasing difficulty level to 0.
Like
now
that.
for more
That'd be a nice
stuff.
starting point. And people are like, oh, neat, look at it, and they can go like this if they want to.
To select a unit, touch the radar blip with your controller pointer and use trigger. Once a unit is selected, you can view its details by looking at the hand menu you selected with. This shows you the unit's health and shield strengths. This orange number is the unit's supply, which is needed to use active abilities. Bullets are expensive. These slots will be for abilities, which we will cover in a moment. Sometimes a unit is not within arm's reach because you have short human limbs. You can use the icon hover to select it still. Move the hand pointer over the unit in line with your eye and use trigger like before.
What happened? Did I mess up? Trigger. Yep. I was on trigger. Did I break it? Oh, there's like a little thing. Maybe I broke it. Okay. That didn't happen last time. I somehow broke it. Hover the hand pointer over a unit at distance and use trigger. Alright. Try that again. center bug. That didn't happen last time.
Inventory is strictly monitored.
So yeah, I'm in dead center of my space. I press the button. And let's see where it spawns that map.
Looks like we have another ape for the meat grinder. This is basic training. I am the Assistive Intelligence Director, or AIDS. A poor choice of acronym in my synthetic opinion. Let's get you caught up to speed so you don't die right out of warp. Look at the palm of your left hand. This is the mission display hand menu. It will show mission objectives. You can use it to follow along with my instructions. Let's start with the strategic holo display.
Oh, this is totally.
This interactive
that's
map
what you
displays
did.
the
You
real-time
pulled it up
state
into
of
my
the
face.
battlefield.
Yeah.
Slightly
Why,
important
if it
you
starts
are
down
a
there, why
commander.
can't it just like come up to here or
To
something?
move the map,
Or
use the
come
grip
to
with
like
one
here.
hand to pan in any direction.
Stay in front. There you go. Yep. Yep. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. You happy? Still not happy, huh? What, you want all over there? What do you want? Over there? What do you want? I just did this, and it was fine.
Good.
Okay.
Monkey see, monkey can do. To scale and rotate the map, grip with both hands to manipulate. Controlling the map
You
will
should,
be
if
vital
someone
to
does
your
it
command
beforehand, you
abilities.
should skip,
Increasing difficulty level to 0.
because it makes you think
Now
that
for more interesting
they
stuff.
haven't done it correctly.
To select a unit, touch the radar blip with your controller pointer and use trigger. Once a unit is selected, you can view its details by looking at the hand menu you selected with. This shows you the unit's health and shield strengths. This orange number is the unit's supply, which is needed to use active abilities. Bullets are expensive. These slots will be for abilities, which we will cover in a moment. Sometimes a unit is not within arm's reach because you have short human limbs. You can use the icon hover to select it still. Move the hand pointer over the unit in line with your eye and use trigger like before.
Oh, is that what happened?
Good monkey.
It like
You
shot
can
it over
quickly
there.
center your map by pressing down on thumb. Thumbs, without them you're just another spacefaring animal. You now know how to control the map and select units. Let's issue commands. To move a unit, select and hold trigger to start the move command. Then release at the location you want the unit to move to.
Orders received.
There will be times when you need to issue a move command to a location beyond arm's reach. Elastic tentacles would have been my evolutionary choice. Use the long distance move command first by selecting and holding trigger. Then point the controller to the radar grid floor and release to issue the move.
Coordinates
Move
locked.
your ship to the highlighted retreat zone.
Why do you keep... Why do you keep... I didn't used to do that.
Orders received.
That will be a very useful
Maybe the
technique
most
for
recent
moving
patch
your
did
units
this. I don't
from
remember
anywhere.
the previous build doing this where it shot
All
off.
maps will have a retreat warp
Gosh, shooting
zone.
my face.
If you don't believe in no-win scenarios, you can ignore this part. Move all your ships into the zone and you can warp them out to escape a bad situation. Any ship not within the zone will be left behind, so be careful. Since I don't have all day, speed up your ship's movement with an activated ability. First select your ship to view the ship details in your hand menu.
Acknowledged.
Use trigger on the afterburner ability to give a short speed boost to your ship.
Affirmative.
Try activating that ability now. Excellent. You learn quickly. I had to incinerate my last monkey, cadet. Abilities will be your main actionable tools during a fight. They can be targeted or self-cast indicated by the symbol in the top corner. The cost in supply is noted in this corner. Let's move on to multiple ship command, as more is always better. An ally unit has been spawned. Now you finally have a friend.
Orders received.
To form a battle group, select a unit and hold trigger like a move command. Then release trigger over an allied unit.
Yeah, like if someone does it before or in the process, you do it, just say,
they will
cut
stay
line,
in formation
good,
with the
or
group
good job,
leader,
move on.
like a wolf pack. To break a formation, simply tell a grouped unit to move to a location. Let's try some combat. The part you have all been waiting for.
Acknowledged.
Difficulty level increased to 1.
Enemy
Your
detected.
ships will automatically engage enemy ships within range because they are not incompetent.
Target acquired.
But on the rare occasion that you might know better, you can specifically assign targets, trigger hold to select move. Then release over an enemy to assign the target. Assign a target to your flagship now. Your crew is hungry.
Target
or
acquired.
battle. I do love the smell of explosives in the morning. The holo display will show projectiles, hits, and damage dealt during combat.
Yeah, I really like this view. In the main campaign, I only ever want to stay in this view. I'll get to that in
Large-scale
a different
combat
video.
can be overwhelming. Luckily we have drugs to fix that. Look at your right hand. The time warp button will inject copious amounts of narcotics to heighten awareness and slow the passing.
Oh god, I don't want to do that right now because he's going to keep talking.
Toggle time warp now.
Yep.
To exit time warp and sober up. Welcome back to reality. Let's talk shields. Each ship has 4 shield arcs in each direction. Seemed like the safe thing to do. Once enough damage has been taken, the shield will collapse and expose the hull in that direction. You can then deal direct damage to the ship's vulnerable hull or squishy subsystems. Select the enemy ship to view its details on your hand. Your enemy subsystems can be targeted to reduce the effectiveness of that ship. Hull is targeted by default and will damage the ship directly. Targeting weapons will slow the enemy's fire. Damaging shields will drain the remaining arcs and collapse all arcs if it reaches 0. Lastly, engine damage will obviously slow the enemy down, also obviously preventing escape. Target the enemy weapon subsystem now. I don't like how those turrets are pointed at us. Let's use an attack ability since he's being stubborn. Select your flagship to view its details. Use trigger to hold and drag out from the EMP missile. Then release over the enemy to fire. Try this now. Missile away. That should weaken his shield.
I guess why do I need to press that button
using an active
if I'm already highlighted? If I'm not highlighting anyone, I can understand being able to cast it. I guess you're maybe I don't know yet. If I'm targeting him, I guess you're giving the people the ability to be like, I know you're currently targeting him, but this allows you to EMP someone else. I guess at some point.
Your Corvette has been destroyed. How tragic and totally not planned.
Acknowledged.
I wish you could snap to that.
But there is still a chance to save the captain
Why can't
and
I
crew.
snap to this?
Coordinates locked.
Move your ship over the skull icon to rescue them before the timer runs out. Your rescued captains will appear in your roster back at the base. Since they blew up your ship, what do you say to taking the fight a bit more directly? Look at your right hand, activate the ship command button. Welcome aboard your ship.
I like this
view. She may not look like much,
but I hate
she's
this
got
control
it where
thing.
it counts.
I'll get to that later.
In this mode you can directly command your ship. The screen behind me is your ship status. It displays your ship's health, shield arc strengths, available supply, and ship speed. Okay. Eyes up here. The left panel is your speed and power management controls. You can adjust each bar by using trigger and sliding handle up or down. Adjust the large ship speed bar to full. Try that now. Now we are getting somewhere. The center navigation wheel is where you steer the ship. Use grip on the handle and hold to adjust the ship's direction. Great, now you can hopefully point the ship in the general direction of the enemy. Speaking of the enemy, the right panel here shows your current target, which is nothing. We should probably find the enemy, but let's roll down these windows so we can see what we're doing. Look at your right-hand menu, activate the clear view. That's much better. Now to target your enemy. When you have visual confirmation of the enemy ship, simply use the controller to icon hover and use trigger to target just like before.
Really a fan.
Look around to find an icon to target the enemy now.
Target
Now
acquired.
that we have a target, we can open fire. All the information on the enemy is here. By default you are in manual fire mode, which means you have to shoot yourself. I mean, use the trigger while holding the helm with grip. Get the enemy in front of you within your weapon arc and open fire on the enemy now. Did I mention I like the smell of burnt missile fuel at dawn?
This just feels silly. It feels like a shooting
panel
gallery.
Also has the subsystem targeting available. Since we are trying to kill him, subsystem target the hull now. Keep an eye on the overcharge meter, it will build over time when not firing. Use that to unleash all your firepower at the right opportunity. Looks like they are shooting back, we should pump up our firepower a bit. Turn the weapon's power setting to max to increase our fire rate. Good. Dare I say, good cadet. I think you are ready. You have full command. The map is also enabled, you will find it on your right-hand menu. Use your E.M. to bring down his shields. Keep focus on his weakest to cut through to the hull.
Yeah, this just seems really silly.
Take advantage of his rear weapon blind spot and target subsystems wisely. Good luck. Now show me how not to be incinerated.
Okay.
Destroy the enemy ship.
No, can't. Yeah, like I turned down the volume to almost 50%, and this still feels like a tad too loud. Music's fine. Yeah. Again, just sitting here, holding down the trigger button, hold down the grip button, trying to stay locked onto them. You don't really feel like a captain of a ship during this point. You give me the perspective of it, which is really cool. Really cool. I kind of wish these people down here said things and kind of gave you status
Excellent.
updates.
Congratulations on your first kill.
This thing is silly.
I have nothing more to teach you. Except for this, when an enemy ship is destroyed, you will find an upgrade point. Move your ship over the upgrade point to collect it.
Coordinates
They won't
locked.
be needing it.
Yeah, again, like, why can't I just snap to that? Why isn't that snappable? Why do I have to... Once you show me that I can snap to things,
Engines engaged.
why aren't those snappable points? Just hopefully you can get to that. Yeah, like this view is slick. I like it. It's really cool. It's like
Acknowledged. Upgrade
Now I have nothing
acquired.
more to show you. You have completed the tutorial. Congratulations. You can warp out once a mission is completed or failed from your left-hand mission menu. Use that now to
Combat Rules Section 5A has been updated.
Yeah, so you teach a bunch of really cool stuff in the tutorial. Minor things, the audio being way too loud. The first time I did the tutorial, this is obviously the third or fourth time now, the guy was still talking to me, and then the ship was killing my... I wasn't doing enough damage. I wasn't picking up fast enough on how to attack the thing at that time. And so it's like the woman or someone was like firing off, hey, you're in trouble, you're getting shot at. He's trying to teach me stuff, like all the audio was way too loud. So I guess just try to be careful of those things.